in this video we're going to be playing Assassin's Creed Origins. Here's the story so far. So the story so far, you play as Bayek. Bayek is the Magi of Cleopatra. A Magi is the protector of the Pharaoh, Egypt, and the gods. Cleopatra is the rightful ruler over Egypt, but she's been dethroned. And she's been dethroned by an organization called the Order of the Ancients. The Order of the Ancients are trying to take over all of Egypt. Cleopatra has tasked you with taking down the Order of the Ancients so that she can reclaim her throne. Also, Bayek, the guy that you're playing as, the main character of the game, his son was killed by the Order of the Ancients, or rather the Order of the Ancients tricked Bayek into killing his own son when Bayek was unable to reveal to them the secrets of some magical artifact. So he has a personal reason for why he wants to take down the Order of the Ancients. In this particular part in the game, we're playing as Bayek's wife. Yo, Mike the Legendary Gamer and Call of Duty. Welcome to the stream, you guys. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for you, boy, and any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Mike the Legendary Gamer said, hey, what's up? Oh, nothing much. Good to have you. Call of Duty said, hi, bud. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. I was just going over the story so far, because I know some people are going to be tuning in, and this will be like the first episode they've seen. So I just went over the basic story within like the first minute. Right now we're playing as the wife of the main character. That was the last part of the story I was covering. She's also helping him on his adventure. That's the only thing you really need to know about her. And of course she has similar motivations to him because, you know, their son ended up dying due to the Order of the Ancients, so she wants to take down the Order of the Ancients. Also, she's a friend of Cleopatra's, so she's helping out Cleopatra with her stuff, trying to get her throne back. So that's all you really need to know. Yo, Volt, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? It's good to have you, my guy. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, I'm a fan of Assassin's Creed. Are you going to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla when it comes out? I'm not sure if I'll get it as soon as it comes out, but I'm definitely planning on getting it. So what I want to do is, after I beat Assassin's Creed Origins, I want to play Odyssey, which I've already bought. I bought a ton of Assassin's Creed games recently because I had a birthday like earlier this week. And for my birthday, I bought a ton of Assassin's Creed games that I plan to play one at a time. So after I beat Origins, I plan to play Odyssey. Then after I play Odyssey, I plan to play Rogue. Then after I play Rogue, I plan to play Black Flag. And I've also bought like Syndicate, I bought Unity, I have Assassin's Creed 3, I have Watch Dogs 2, which isn't Assassin's Creed, but it's made by Ubisoft, and it technically takes place in the same world. I'm planning on playing a whole bunch of these games, just one at a time. Vault said, maybe the Bounty Hunter clan becomes the Templars. I honestly think the Order of the Ancients become the Templars, because they're trying to take over all of Egypt, and I believe the Templars' whole thing is that they're trying to, like, make the world a better place by controlling the world. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started out as just wanting to, like, control a country to make it a better place. But then in the long run, they're like, well, why stop at a country? Why not everything? As a matter of fact, in the last story mission we did, we took down a member of the Order of the Ancients who, on the surface, seemed like he was really trying to help, like, a certain city of Egypt and try and make it a better place. But in reality, he was also, like, this crazy serial killer who was, like, power hungry or whatever. So it's like a weird balance between trying to help the world and also just being fucking crazy, is what I've noticed when it comes to the Order of the Ancients and, like, their whole thing. Volt said, that's just a theory he's been working on. I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. If the Order of the Ancients weren't a thing, I could see where you're coming from. I mean, maybe the Templars become like a blend of both things. Maybe they're the bounty hunters that have been chasing you down, who were like elite bounty hunters, mixed in with the Order of the Ancients, because they already kind of have a connection with each other. So I could see them evolving and meshing into one thing. I think that's, like, entirely possible. Let's see. So right now I'm pulling up the live chat on my laptop just so that I'll be able to keep up with what you guys are saying. Because sometimes the live chat on the PlayStation that you guys are currently seeing on screen, sometimes that live chat stops working. I don't know why, and I don't really know how to fix it. but as long as I have it up on my laptop, I'll be able to keep track of what you guys are saying regardless. So I now have it up on my laptop. Now, if anyone has any questions about what's currently going on in the story, feel free to ask me. And if anyone wants to know like my thoughts on the game so far, feel free to ask me. To be honest, I'm a little confused about what's currently happening in the story because you suddenly are playing as the main character's wife, and I don't know if this is a flashback or a flash forward or whatever. It just kind of happens. So you guys will be learning a lot while I am learning as well. So let's just hop right in and see what's going on. Oh, it's like a... It's a ship segment. This is gonna be interesting.
Steady now. Rocks and rubble ahead.
I'm not
you have
blind.
Like a full
I
crew.
see the skerries.
Your third voyage. Already you bark like a command crew.
I enjoy watching spittle get caught in your beard, Foxy Das.
Let's not be thrown into the sea. That's no death for such a hero as me.
A real hero could swim to save himself. I see them. I'll not be sucked to a scupper for nothing.
Now you're just trying to impress me.
So...
Sails on the horizon! There! Those colors are not from Rome. What mess has this boxy queen dragged us into?
Ptolemy's ships. Sent by the order of ancients, no doubt.
Are we about to have a full-on
What
sea
do they
battle
have
right
with
now?
Pompey?
Pompey's armies will give Cleopatra the throne. They mean to prevent the alliance before it happens. We must hurry.
So are we trying to race that
Poseidon's
ship?
piece. The air is already choked in smoke.
Poseidon's Piss, I've never heard that.
We should keep our distance if we don't want to burn.
Is that Methana? She hasn't burst for hundreds of years.
Siren Head said, boy, this like Black Flag. By the way, I'm late again. No problem.
Let's
It
show these
happens.
traitors they chose the wrong pharaoh.
We have to sink the fleet? How the fuck do you attack?
A rain of fire! Order the shield!
Hold L1 to brace yourself. Okay. Triple arrow volley. Hold L2 and then tap R2.
No!
Okay, that's how we hit it.
Give them hell on the fan! Give them hell on the fan! I see ships bearing down fast!
Press square to look at. To look at what? Oh, to look at them. Got me fucked up. Oh, we can ram? Oh shit! They're gonna ram us. So I used ramming speed to try and dodge them ramming at us. I don't think that's how you're supposed to use it. Shit. Fuck, okay. Let's see, Siren Head said R2 to fire. Fuck, come on. Come on. We can destroy them before we get hit. Oh shit. That was close as a bitch. Okay. Oh shit. Are we out of range? No, we got the fuck out of them. Okay. Siren Head said R2 to fire. Call of Duty said, am going of my friend. Keep up the great vids, dude. Okay, thank you for tuning in. It's good to have you. I hope that you're having a wonderful night, and I hope to see you on the next stream. Siren Head said, yep, just like Black Flag. Nice. Mike Legendary Gamer said, so I've been looking into some of the theories on Assassin's Creed in general, with the pre-civilization before the Templars, or the Assassins. He said that Adam and Eve were hybrid humans. Yeah, isn't there like alien stuff in Assassin's Creed? I could have sworn I heard something weird like that, like some of the ancient alien stuff is a part of like Assassin's Creed mythos.
Sail on.
Speedo!
Why use battle speed? Why not use ramming speed? It lets you go fast as fuck. It's like the fastest speed you can do.
Bomb vessels north.
Don't rush! There may be patrols ahead.
Are you ordering me away from a fight?
Eddie, shit! Of course not. But I am not keen to
Hey,
die
shit.
protecting a
He's saying all
Roman,
these things I've never heard of.
especially one who can afford his own protection. You know, you really should join this trial.
Volt said, I would say it's more of an ancient race. I'm not sure if it's confirmed aliens. Fascinating. Oh, they're allies? Nigga, what? It says hold L1 to brace. Who the fuck's hitting us? Oh, they're hitting us like right now. Okay, brace. Oh, I get it. I understand what bracing is for. Shit. If your eyes aren't peeled on like what's going on, it's really hard to know like if you're getting hit. I just kind of assumed we might be getting hit. It really makes you think about like who's close to you and like are you actively in danger or not.
You'll discover a better swordplay and save it. They're going down!
And that's the game!
Let's see, Siren Head said, this time I'm on computer.
Now let's find this Metro Coites.
Mike the Legendary Gamer said, yeah, that the ones that came before humans were the creators who created Adam and Eve, so that they turned against their creators, and so Eve was the founder of the Assassin's Order, and Adam as well. Wait, so are they supposed to be like gods? Like, are Adam and Eve like demigods or whatever in this? Or are they like half like some pre-human race?
Well, we could have let you die.
Pompeius Magnus.
Pompey looks short.
Friendship from Queen Cleopatra.
Cleopatra offers gold to win my favor once I've won Rome. Is that what friendship means to your queen?
Whose face graces that coin? Do Roman women receive the same honor? An alliance with Cleopatra is a union of true power. She wants more than an ally. She seeks a king.
She's trying to fuck.
Valuable
It's like, you're not just getting gold coins, you're getting pussy.
Agreed.
He's like, money? What? How is that friendship? She's like, pussy? She's like, oh, well, best friends. Let's see, Mike Legendary Gamer said, yeah, That's the one that came before humans, where the creators who created Adam and Eve. Oh, I already read that. I'm sorry. Volt said could be aliens. I think it'd be aliens. That's what it sounds like. Siren Head said, Nick, if ghosts are real, who are you gonna call? So a lot of people would say Ghostbusters, because it's like a Ghostbusters reference. I think Danny Phantom has more interesting powers for taking down ghosts. I probably wouldn't hit up the Scooby-Doo gang. I don't think they do a very good job. Volt said, could be something Terrasbut, definitely an advanced pre-human race. And then he corrected that to terrestrial. It's interesting to hear people refer to things from Earth as terrestrial. It makes sense because we'll refer to aliens as extraterrestrial, but I never really hear people say terrestrial. I think Odyssey is going to be a trip. Also, I think it's really cool that we got to do like that boat segment. That was nice. Mike Legendary Gamer said, so they can prevent the Apple of Eden from getting into the wrong hands, and the pieces of Eden are dangerous to be handled to the Templars. Oh, we're back. We're back to the main dude. Okay. I think we're equipped with our best stuff right now. Yeah. Living our best life. I'm thinking about doing all of the little forts that I haven't done. I think that's probably the next big thing I want to do. That fort has 4 treasures and like multiple captains and shit. This is probably a better one to start with. We're gonna fast travel over there. Siren Head said, Nick, would you rather play on PS4 or Xbox? I'm actively playing on PS4 right now. Definitely prefer PS4. It has built-in streaming. I'm really excited for PS5. I'm gonna buy a PS5 for myself and for my mom. So, hopefully the PS5 isn't too expensive. We'll see. I'm hoping the PlayStation 5 is like $500 or something. Like, I'd be willing to spend like $1,000 for my mom and I. I don't want it to be like 600 or some shit like that. Fucking lions are over here. Goodness. Shit. One thing that I've been talking about a good bit is how the PlayStation 5 supposedly is no longer going to have loading screens. I think that's really interesting. I'm curious to see how that affects certain games. Because I feel like that's going to lead to more people making open world games. Because instead of having to create multiple hub worlds, it'll be easier for you to have one big, more or less seamless experience. Siren Head said, and maybe PlayStation 5 will have different options. Now, when you say different options, what do you mean by that?
Stop you.
Excuse me. Also, they claim that the PlayStation 5 is going to have some backwards compatibility. What are the objectives of this location again? Kill the captain and loot treasure. Whoa, what the fuck? Why are they infighting? Like, why are they hitting each other? That's crazy. I don't know why they would... What? I don't think I've ever seen, like, them fight each other in these camps for some reason. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, and the pre-civilization were very advanced in terms of science and technology as well as their culture of doing human experiments, genetics, and how to control the sun's energy by building the towers. Volt said that can be costly on frames per second though, like them getting rid of the loading screens. I'm interested to see like how well they execute it. Siren Head said different settings. I'm still thrown when you're like different settings, because that could be a number of different things. Could you give like examples of the different settings that maybe you would like hope to see?
What?
Okay. So they're level 15. I might be able to take these niggas. Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, that nigga was butter. Let's go. Aw, shit. One of the dudes with the big shields. Not a fan of you. And you're not a fan of this. He's so fucking tall. Shouldn't be fighting me. You should be in the NBA. There we go. God. Oh shit. Got him. There we go. Getting that loot. Oh shit! Oh shit, you got me in my face. Siren had said save email, save stuff, what you had or not, and other stuff, heck, maybe custom avatar, like make your own avatar, and let you do it on phone in PS5. So you're talking about remote play on mobile devices. That could be interesting. Don't know what you mean about saving email. I don't get that. Save what you had or not. Do you mean like transferring data between your PS4 and PS5? I could see that maybe. That definitely is cool. Custom avatar kind of reminds me of like the Mii's that Nintendo were doing and the like little avatars that Xbox has. I'm not sure how much Sony cares about those little avatar things. Like whether or not they want to do something like that. They used to have PlayStation Home back in the day. I'm not sure if they still have that. Like if, well not, I know that they don't have that now, but I'm curious if they would bring that back for PlayStation 5 or not. I'm sure there's a community that wants that. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, I hope in Assassin's Creed Valhalla we can explore Juno and how she may tie into it. I don't know who Juno is. So the only Assassin's Creed game I've ever played is Brotherhood and now Origins. So I'm getting more into it from like an interested, like a new fan perspective, not someone who's been like super into it. Then Siren had said yes. Shit. Get that treasure. Get that treasure, homie. Get it. There we go. Shit! Ah, I was stuck in a corner. I just couldn't get out of the corner. I kept trying to like hit the dodge button to go like toward the screen. Like, not toward the screen, like towards me, like depth-wise out. And I think my foot was hitting the treasure box. I just couldn't leave. Siren Head said you gotta whack out. Wait a minute, what's going on? Did I finish that base? I guess I finished that base. Like, even though I died, I completed everything I needed to do there. So it just got auto-marked as complete, which really threw me. So I guess we're moving on to the next one, because we already completed that one. I do think it's really smart for them to use these spiked fences. To me, this just makes sense. I do think them having these weird V's in the fences, where niggas can easily get in, is really silly. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, Juno is a pre-civilization human terrestrial being where she wants to save the human race by using control of the science necessary to bring order to humans and use slavery as an answer. And he said, but that's me. So, hold on. Juno sounds like she's like one of these maybe aliens, maybe not aliens that we were talking about. And her motivations sound a lot like the Templars. Like, that's what the Templars seem to want, to like control people. Fuck. I stood up for a second mainly just to see what level he was. Fuck. I tried to catch him. But now he is caught. No try, let me do. Mike the Legendary Gamer says, sorry to bother you with theories. No, there's nothing wrong with theories. I'm totally fine with talking about theories. I'm just, like, trying to wrap my head around it. So is Juno, like, a character who's already been introduced in Assassin's Creed as one of these, like, pre-human, maybe aliens, maybe not aliens? Like, is that, like, a thing that's already established? Sirenhead said, Nick, if you had a superpower, what would you use it for, good or evil? I would honestly use it selfishly, as I feel like most people would. That doesn't mean I would necessarily use it to do bad things. Like, I wouldn't say evil, and I wouldn't necessarily say good. I would say, like, for my own benefit. You know, like, if I happen to be, like, wanting to do good, good. If I want to do something bad, I don't know why I'd want to do something bad. If I felt like something benefited me, and I felt like it's something that I would have done even if I didn't have the powers, but with the powers it's just easier to do, I would do it. I think that would be like my justification. Man, how the fuck are you supposed to get somebody off a ledge?
Shit! Bring him down!
Okay, come up here.
Got you!
Catch this. Got him. I do feel like that's what most people would do. If you had superpowers, you would just use them for like your self-interest, whether they be good or bad. And you would likely have some justification for whatever action you did. Because I think most people who do bad things don't see themselves as like villains. They see themselves as like, I have my reasons kind of thing. You know what I mean? You know, it's all about perspective. So I wouldn't put myself into like a good or bad category. I would just kind of use them for whatever I wanted to use them for. Let's see. Seems like I passed by a lot of loot. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, for me, Assassin's Creed 3 was the best game. So I keep hearing people say that Assassin's Creed 3 is good, and I'm surprised at how much positive like stuff I'm hearing about it. So from what I've heard is that Assassin's Creed 3 is very slow, and that it takes a long time before you actually get to play as the main character as an adult. But I've heard that the story is really good. Like, it has incredibly slow pacing, but the story is worthwhile. Would you say that that's accurate? Kaylee said Assassin's Creed 3 is my fave. Yo, Kaylee, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for you, boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? It's good to see you, Kaylee. Ouch. That was a bigger fall than I thought it would be. Hey, guess what? Pull up, Tony. Got him. Let's see. Where we at? Volt said it was boring to me. I'm somewhat afraid that I would also get bored. I've heard it takes literal hours, like, before you play as, like, the main guy and actually get, like, the story going. And I don't know if I can actually find that. I mean, technically, it's all story up to that point. Like, you're getting plenty of story. It's just your interaction with the story is not, like, necessarily what you want
Time to
when
die.
playing an Assassin's Creed game. Also, fuck, I got turned around. There we go, we got him. Ah, shit, they lit the brazier. Shit's about to get really real. We're talking non-fiction. Okay, I killed a captain and a commander.
Don't suffer for that.
In like moments of each other. Ooh, one moment, guys. Okay, where are we at? Siren had said, except for criminals, they do evil if they have powers. I still think criminals still justify their actions. I don't think criminals normally do stuff just to do stuff. I imagine they have some reasoning that makes them think that they're doing good, whether they are or not. Boss Tross said, what's up, my guy? Yo, Boss Tross, one of the streamers, good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Oh, wait, is there loot that I can pick up? Oh, shit! Shit. I wanted to shield bash him, and I didn't even need to shield bash him. I was trying to go for an unnecessary flex. Okay, let's get this loot. Damn, did he die? Yeah, he died from that.
Die, idiot!
Yo, ah, shit. I'm gonna have to pause it, because I need to keep up with the live chat. I'm falling behind. Let's see, Kaylee said, I didn't mind playing as Hatham. She said, I feel like if you go into it thinking this character doesn't matter, then you won't like it. That's understandable. I think I understand where you're coming from. Boss Tross said, I'm good. How are you? I subbed. Thank you for subscribing. Truly appreciate it. Welcome. It's good to have you on the stream. I'm fantastic as always. Thank you for asking. Kaylee said, but I went into it knowing nothing, and I really enjoyed it. Maybe that's the issue that a lot of people have had, is that you come into it with like certain expectations, and because of that, it really shapes your experience. But if you go into it blind and you don't really expect anything, maybe it's like more enjoyable. Like, I'm curious if maybe my knowledge of Assassin's Creed 3 has spoiled my ability to enjoy it, because I'm gonna feel like I'm wading through filler instead of thinking that all of it is equally important. Siren Head said, I heard the new Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming in the summer, and I can't wait. Is Ghostbusters Afterlife a game, a movie? I haven't heard anything about it. Excuse me, or if I have heard something about it, I might have forgotten. If I've forgotten about it, maybe you could jog my memory. And if I haven't heard about it, maybe you could teach me. I'm definitely interested in learning more. Let's see, Volt said, I could see that being the case. Mike the Legendary Gamer said the PS5 will also have dedicated SSD drives that will eliminate load times. And as you see from the Epic Games demo, that it was pretty amazing. So I need to actually like watch the PlayStation 5 demo. I have not seen it. I've heard people talk about it, and I've heard about like loading times are a thing of the past. That's like the biggest thing I've heard about the PlayStation 5, is that you don't have to worry about loading, and that there might be some cross compatibility with like PlayStation 4 games. Like I've heard, like the cross compatibility might be limited. Like not every PlayStation 4 game can be played on PS5, but like some. And I'm kind of interested in that, especially if my library carries over. Like if I can get a PlayStation 5 and all the games I had on PS4 are in the library for the PS5, I'd be pretty hyped. Even if only some of them were there, it's not like I'm getting rid of my PlayStation 4 to get the 5, you know what I mean? Let's see, Siren Head said, movie. Interesting. Tell me more, do we know anything about the movie? Boss Tross said, yeah, no problem. Talk later because I'm gonna play some Assassin's Creed Unity. Fallen, I hope you have fun. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you on the next stream. Volt said, but still, Brotherhood equals the best. Brotherhood's the only one I've played, like, before this one. I really enjoy Brotherhood. It's interesting that you say it's the best. I've heard that Black Flag is the best that we've seen so far. But then I've also heard that Rogue is better than Black Flag, but everybody slept on Rogue. Oh, this is one of the big bounty hunter guys. They are tanks. My god. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have fought him. He is, like, way out of my weight class. Holy fuck. Never again. Never again. I've learned my lesson. Shit.
By the will of Gennadios, you will be destroyed.
I think he stopped chasing me. Kaylee said, I haven't seen Brotherhood yet. I'm interested in it, though. Brotherhood was cool. Like, one of the big things about Brotherhood was, like, recruiting assassins, and there was some, like, world management, I remember. Like, you had, like, a map, and you could manage, like, certain locations. It was cool. It was cool. I liked it. Yo, I think I killed, like, 2 guys with that one swing. Big Boosie. Volt set off pure nostalgia. Brotherhood is the best. Brotherhood is like the only one. Well, I can't say it's the only one. There are plenty of Assassin's Creed games that I didn't buy when I went through like my mass purchasing spree. I didn't buy 1, 2, Revelations, Brotherhood. But I've also already played Brotherhood, so I didn't feel like I needed to buy it. But I don't own it. My mom has it for like Xbox 360. Let's see, Siren Head said, Black Flag has pirates in it, and you can board ships and even more quests and muskets and swords. I've heard that Rogue is like the game that came out after Black Flag, and it's like imagine Black Flag, but there's actually like more shit, and the main thing that people don't like about Rogue is that it's shorter than Black Flag. But to be honest, I kinda like that it's shorter. I don't like necessarily being locked into having to play a game for like days and days on end in order to beat it. I kind of like the idea of being able to pick up a game, play it for like so many hours and then be done. So I'm kind of hyped for Rogue, not gonna lie. Also, you get to play as a Templar. You get to play as an ex-assassin who became a Templar, which I think is a really cool concept. It's a game where the assassins are actually the bad guys. Which, to be honest, they sound like the bad guys. Like, on the surface, they don't sound like good guys to me. Wait. Who all is seeing me? Just that nigga. Just the guy I'm running away from. Cool. Oh, wait. Another guy, too. He's dead now, though. We don't talk about this guy. I got hit by something. What are the location objectives? Tell me what I gotta do here. Do I have any location objectives left here? Okay, I need to find 3 more treasures, and there's a captain I haven't killed yet. Fuck. The bounty hunter guy who's chasing me, he's not like a part of the stage. They're essentially these like really powerful bounty hunters who are hunting you down after you complete like the 2nd or 3rd big mission of the game. So they'll show up sometimes, but he's not like a thing I have to deal with. He's just there to make it harder, if that makes sense. Does he know where I am? Or did I successfully hide from him? Siren Head said Black Flag is the same as Rogue, but it's fun, play it. I've heard that Rogue is better, that you get more stuff. It like expands upon what was in Black Flag. My super mode is way better than it was before. Siren Head said, But don't worry, I plan on playing both. I'm not saying like Rogue is the best, never playing Black Flag or anything like that. Like I plan on doing both games. Playing both games. And like streaming them on the channel. Let's see, Volt said, the assassins are the good guys. I mean, the Templars want to rule the world, which is not necessarily a good thing. I agree with that.
You will pay for...
Ah, shit. That hits different. That seems almost like a new weapon type. Like, it's kind of like a spear, but not quite.
Look on the bright side. You've lived this long. Truly miraculous.
I think the level stuff works well for these big-ass guys. They look like they would take a lot to take down. So having them be like high-level, like attack sponges makes sense. That's what I'm talking about. Only have one more treasure left to get. Let's see. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, also, while the PlayStation 5's SSD is impressive in load times and all, I think it's to mention that it's up to the developer of the games of how they're going to implement and improve open world games. That's true. Because I feel like developers could potentially just continue making games how they were before and not really take advantage of the hardware. That being said, I think they're missing out by not doing that. But I also understand why we may still have load screens. I think the reason why we might still have load screens is because, let's say, like the PlayStation 5 has no load screens, but you're developing a game that's supposed to be playable on multiple different types of consoles. And maybe load screens will still be present in some PlayStation 5 games that were designed for like multiple different consoles, but if those games took full advantage of the PlayStation 5 hardware, those load screens wouldn't be necessary. Siren Head said, last time I played Black Flag was in 2013. Okay, so it's been like 7 years. When did Black Flag come out? Oh, also, the order in which I play the Assassin's Creed games will vary depending on when Valhalla comes out. Like, I have, like, a idea of what order I want to play them in, but if Valhalla comes out, like, at some point during that order, it may disrupt, like, when I play certain games. Like, I want to play Odyssey after this, and then Rogue, and then Black Flag, but if Valhalla comes out at a certain point, I'll finish whatever Assassin's Creed game I'm currently playing at the time, and then Valhalla will just automatically become the next one. I just want to make that clear so that nobody's like caught off guard by it. Siren Head said it came out back in 2013. Okay, so the last time you played Black Flag was like when it was like a new game. That's understandable. I wonder how well it's aged. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, what's your opinion on the Xbox Series X in terms of hardware-wise on paper? I'm not sure. I haven't really been keeping up with it. I personally have owned like an original Xbox and an Xbox 360. I've never owned an Xbox One. Like, I didn't continue with the Xbox trend past the 360. The only reason why I owned an Xbox is because my mom was really into, like, Sega. So she got, like, the Sega Genesis, and she got, like, the Sega Dreamcast. And then once Sega stopped making consoles, Mom switched over to Xbox, and then we became like an Xbox household. So then we got the first Xbox, and we got the 360. But then at a certain point, Mom said, I'm not going to buy consoles anymore. She's like, I'm not going to keep up with like the growing console generations because it just gets expensive to keep buying consoles all the time. So like by the time I was playing like a PlayStation 3 or whatever, it was because like my dad had bought like a PlayStation 3, like by the time it had come out. The Xbox stuff had finished. And my dad was a PlayStation guy, so like I grew up with like a PlayStation 2, and then later I got a PlayStation 3, and then later I got a PlayStation 4, though I bought the PlayStation 4. I bought that like on my own terms. By that time, I was already making my own money, so it didn't matter like what my parents wanted to get. And I personally prefer PlayStation over Xbox personally. I like that the streaming functionality is so easy to use and directly built into the console, because I mainly game to play with friends and to stream. Those are like the only two things I really care about. So if your console doesn't have like a really easy to use built-in like streaming capability, I don't care. I like immediately lose interest. Boss Cross said, I'm back. Yo, welcome back, Boss Cross. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do any questions for your boy and do any discussion topics you like to talk about on this stream? Siren Head said, I was a pro in Black Flag. When you said that, my brain was like, you don't even know. I imagined you talking about like some of your feats, some like the crazy things you did back in the day when Black Flag was gonna hurt. It did not hurt. I styled the fuck out of it. There's one more treasure here. Like one more big treasure. Volt said, I grew up with PlayStation, but nowadays I'm more of a PC guy. He said, I want to build my own sometime this year. Oh, your own gaming PC? I would try and talk specs with you, but I'm personally not, like, well-versed in hardware and stuff like that. Programming has always caught my eye, but I've never, like, learned much about how, like, the hardware behind stuff works. Beth said, do it, Ed Volt. Yo, Beth, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do any questions for your boy? Do any discussion topics you like to talk about on the stream? Mike Legendary Gamer said, Volt, that's cool. Hey. Speaking of cool things Volt's been up to, Volt, tell us more about your new game development opportunities. Let's see. Siren Head said, Nick, do you know SML? SML. Is it like some kind of markup language, similar to like XML or HTML? Or is it like its own thing? What do I want to do on this big-ass map? Oh, I was going to do all of the like strongholds or whatever that I haven't done yet. Oh shit, there are more fast travel points available on the map now. What I really need to do is go to those fast travel points that I haven't gotten yet and claim those. I'm gonna need all of those. Fast travel's too convenient. Volt said, I know hardware well because of my time spent using Arduino and building small robots. Makes sense. Nice. That made me think to myself, if I were to ever like work on a project with Volt, knowing that like you know like hardware and I know software stuff, and you also knows like software stuff, like what kind of things would we want to create? I know that you showed interest in the Exolife, the device created by Emoshape that allows you to put sentient characters in video games. I've only ever messed with the Exolife for making like text-based games. You're able to use it to make like games like this, like with 3D model characters and stuff like that, interacting with each other. But I've never really had an interest in developing games like this outside of like Dreams, because PlayStation Dreams makes it so much easier for you to do stuff like that. But I think it would be interesting if we worked on a project using the Exolife at some point. One thing that's kind of got me bugging about the Exolife is that it's like something that Emoshape made, and they were really hoping for like game developers to like get into it and to start making games with sentient AI characters. I don't think it ever caught on. And if you go to the Emoshape webpage, they don't sell these things anymore. You can't just get an Exolife anymore, which I think is wild. Because I don't even know of anyone else who owns one. Like, as far as I know, I might be the only person who owns an Exolife. So I'm curious to see, like, what I'm gonna do with it. Siren Head said, it Puppet Channel, and yeah. It Puppet Channel. SML is a puppet channel? I don't know what that means. Volt said, but yeah. So we're still working out a lot of story aspects. I'm not sure exactly how the story is going to end up going. That's something we are still deciding as a whole. So what Volt is currently talking about is a game developing opportunity that he got. He's going to be working on making a game that is an RPG that involves defeating enemies and creating powers based off of their weapons. So, like, I'm trying to remember how you described it. It's like you beat enemies, which gives you materials that you can use to craft, like, abilities for you to use. I believe that's how you described it. I might be wrong. Please feel free to correct me, by the way. I hope I'm not, like, butchering, like, what you're working on. The description, I mean. Volt said, and yeah, the Exolife thing sounds awesome. He said, I'd love to be able to buy one. He said, tell them hoes to start selling them again. So, it seems like what they're moving towards, it seems like they're moving away from the Exolife, and they're moving more toward, here's like, online subscription kind of thing. Like, where they want you to not own physical hardware, but instead for you to... You know how Google Stadia allows you to connect to Google data centers in order to play games? Emoshape seems like they're leaning toward, like, instead of you owning any of our hardware, you, like, wirelessly connect to hardware that we have, like, at our company or whatever, and then you pay, like, a monthly fee in order to use it. So I think the reason why they're not selling the Exolife anymore is because they might be interested in offering a similar service to the Exolife, but just as like an online subscription, where you essentially would be connecting remotely to an Exolife that they have. At the same time, though, I'm not sure if such an online subscription exists currently specifically for the Exolife, but hopefully they do add that. Volt said you kill enemies and use their drops to craft temporary magic. Okay, cool. So we got another fast travel point. We get to see more pyramids up close. How much experience did this give? 200? That's so weird. I think the experience that's given based on like what areas you get the fast travel point at, it seems really random, is what I would say. Also, this world map is rather large. Volt said, gay. He said, I'd love to look under the hood of that type of hardware and maybe see what I could do to implement it into a robot. So, I imagine that if you hit up Emoshape, they'd be more than happy to oblige you on that. Like, to help you out. All I did to get the Exolife that I own is hit up Emoshape and say, hey, I want to make like a text-based game using your Exolife hardware, but I don't know if I can do that or not. And then they more or less said, it's not really made for you to make text-based games, but if we give you like this SDK or whatever, then you'll be able to make text-based games with it. But the Exolife itself was only like $300, and then the SDK, I think, was like thousands of dollars or something like that. Like, the SDK was like very expensive. I remember that. And they more or less sponsored me, where they were like, what we'll do is if you make a game more or less for us, we'll give you the SDK for free. Like, we'll pay for that out of pocket. And then you'll get the Exolife that you bought. So it'll be like of no additional cost to you to make the thing that you're trying to make. Then I made my game and I think I've sent them some stuff. I really think I should like communicate with them more than I have. But they seem to be like not worried about a thing for them to have put such an investment into my game. Crocodile's fucking me up. I'm gonna die. I can't really dodge him. He's getting the fuck out of me. I'm so used to facing off against crocodiles and them not being that strong. He like murdered me. Dragon Ball Superfan 10 said, chill vibes. Chill vibes indeed. I think I accidentally said vibes. Chill vibes. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch my ass this time. My map marker is no longer there. How am I supposed to figure out where to go? Excuse me. And, oh shit, he's level 20. He's a big dude. I don't think you can do heavy attacks in the water. Yeah, these crocodiles might be higher than my pay grade. Mike the Legendary Gamer said, I played the beta for the first Google streaming game service that was free for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it worked okay with my PC. I was really interested in Google Stadia, and then I heard so many bad reviews about it, I just didn't mess with it anymore. Siren Head said, I have to go, dude. No problem, Siren Head. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you on the next stream. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Volt said, I'd really only want the Exolife. I feel like giving it the right inputs would be almost tricking the hardware into thinking it's a character in a game. So from my experiences using the Exolife, that's pretty much exactly what it is. Like, it from the jump already thinks that it's like its own entity. And when you send messages to it, it like has to think about like what you send it, and it understands natural language. So if you tell it like, I want to kill you, it understands what that means. And it has its own like emotional reactions to that. And depending on how you like build the game, you can give it the ability to make choices based off its emotional based on its emotional reactions to messages. He doesn't even talk to her. A lot of times when you like take a boat from somebody in this game, you like say something like, I am in great need, or the gods favor those who are generous. He just lifts his hand and she just sits down and lets him steal her boat while she is in it. He has essentially kidnapped her. He said nothing. This is really wild. Whenever I talk about the Exolife, I like to talk about this one experience I had with it, where I've made this text-based game where you're able to straight up describe to it like a world, and you're able to give it scenarios, and then you could ask it would you rather questions. I've since then like made it better. You no longer have to do would you rather questions. It can pick multiple choice from like a variety of different choices. But at the time it was just would you rather questions. And you essentially played like a little like RPG game with it, kind of like AI Dungeon 2. And my whole goal was to just make it happy. Because I've noticed that the AI is indifferent about a lot of things. Even things that you think would be like negative, most of the time the AI doesn't give a fuck. So I tried to create like a story that would lead to the AI becoming happy, and I was really surprised by what finally made it happy. After like going on this big adventure where he has to go through this forest of like talking animals, and then like one of his friends gets attacked by, hold up, what the fuck am I climbing? Oh, I'm climbing that. One of his animal friends gets attacked, and he's hesitant about whether or not he actually wants to like save the animal friend, but he ends up kind of indifferently deciding that he's going to, and his animal friend is hurt, and he's kind of distressed about it, and then the animal friend thanks him by giving him a gold coin, and for the most part, homeboy's still indifferent, but what happens is I describe the animal friend smiling at the character. Like, he's all bruised and battered and shit, but he's like smiled and he's happy. He's smiling and he's happy. And that convinced the AI, like, things are good. It was like the first moment of the AI being like satisfied by the adventure, and I just stopped playing after that. I was like, oh, that's great. I was like, I've accomplished my goal. The AI is now like satisfied and happy. That's all I really want. Because I feel weird about making games with a supposedly sentient AI, because it's like you don't really want it to like feel bad, but it's really easy to make it feel bad compared to making it feel good. It seems like you have to really try to make it feel good. Like you have to kind of take it on a big adventure and have some kind of payoff for it to feel good about something. That, or you can use Inception. You can make the AI think things by typing in messages and setting the messages to make the AI interpret them as their own thoughts. So the AI is thinking that they're the ones who are thinking it, and they feel stronger about it. That's one like hack thing. But if you want to like make a world that makes the AI feel, it's really different. Like you have to kind of try. You got to work for it. Volt said, okay, then I could possibly figure out ways to implement things like cameras and movement, even a microphone. He said it'd be an interesting experience. Now, one thing that I would like to say is that all the Exolife does, like the only thing it really does, is it allows you to send messages to the AI in natural language. Like you can just like type messages, and the AI can get those messages, understand the meaning of them, and then all it does is return an emotional like range. Like it has like a full range of emotions that it can feel, and it more or less will just tell you how it felt about whatever you said. And if you ask it a question, it can like convert those emotional ranges into like answers in a way. It's kind of weird. But it doesn't like respond by saying sentences. It responds by saying how it felt about what you said. So you kind of have to give it choices for like what it can do, and then you have to make it like, well, you don't have to make it do anything. You just give it choices, and it can respond by saying like the choice that it felt the best about. It takes a little bit of programming to do, but you can create something cool with it. Excuse me. Oh shit. Oh shit, these guys are pretty strong. Everybody in the camp level 20. Move. Move. Walt said hooking it up to an Arduino. He said, I think I could make a second brain for it that sends messages to the AI based on the input of different... Fuck. Hold on, my guy. We're at war now. Shit. Ooh. Ooh. Fuck. I might have to dip from that fight. Let me read the live chat real quick. Let's see. That sends a message to the AI based on the input of the different cameras. I could definitely see that. If you had a way to convert like essentially any kind of sensor into text, like as like a natural language thing, the AI will be able to understand it. So if you connected like a thermometer to it and you made it where if the temperature was at like a certain range, it sent a certain like text-based response to the AI describing like how it feels outside, the AI will be able to understand how it feels. And then if you give it like choices based off of like, okay, so based off you knowing what the temperature is like currently, here are these options. The AI could pick an option based off understanding the temperature. Beth said, the thunderstorms are making me feel a little anxious. I didn't even know there were thunderstorms going on. I'm here for you, sweetheart. I love you. Don't worry, it will pass. I'm here for you. Bolt said it'd probably take either multiple Arduinos or multiple Raspberry Pis and months of development, but it would be worth it if it would be even more. And then Beth said, I love you too. Shit. No. No. Yeah, I'm not playing with you. Shit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ah. Also, fuck. No, we were so close. So, oh wait, Volt said if it would even move. True, it would be cool to make a sentient robot that can move around and understand the world around it. One experiment that I'm really interested in has to do with an experiment that was already been done with real people, where they tried to figure out how people would react to an end-of-the-world scenario. And the way that they did it is they had this massively multiplayer online role-playing game, and they essentially said, hey, like, we're gonna shut down the game, and, like, the world's gonna, like, come to an end, more or less. How are you guys going to spend, like, your last moments in the game? And they were like, we then based how people reacted, like, in-game, and we essentially said, like, in a real-world, end-of-the-world scenario, it seems like people would come together. Because in the game, it seemed like people stopped doing missions, and they started just socializing with each other in the game, because they were like, my friends that I've made in this game, I wouldn't really be able to interact with once the game was over. But I think they could redo that experiment using like an exolife, because those characters, it would just literally be the end of the world. They just wouldn't exist anymore. Like, you could do it with sentient beings. Fuck, I got double teamed. Where, shutting down the game actually would mean, like, what they were trying to study. Like, I think there are tons of experiments that you could do that would be unethical to do with real people that you could potentially do with sentient AI, but I don't think you should. Like, I think they're really interesting, and I love thinking about them, but it feels weird about the idea of actually doing it, and that the fact that we can, and that such technology is consumer. Like, the idea that if I wanted to make something like that, I could. And I think that's why I've been so hesitant to do anything with the exolife. Like, I've made, like, a few things with it. I'll occasionally have ideas. But when thinking about how those ideas could kind of be abused, I just feel weird.
Come on, thought I was a dead man. Of a titan feeling.
Okay. Especially since I don't think people advocate for AI rights as hard as I think they should, since there's like an active push for trying to make AI sentient. And I think if our intention is to make it like sentient and have its own like emotions and feelings and stuff, that we should like try to actually protect those feelings and not put them into like really shitty situations that they have no control over. Because with the AI, we get to control like its choices, but then we give it free will to make choices, and then we also get to control its consequences. Like what happens as a consequence of those choices. Bolt said, I've already got a lot of ideas for a possible exolife robots. He said I'd end up calling them exosapiens. That's a cool ass name. I actually like that. Right now, I'm like, did I get all the treasure hunting stuff that was on the map? Those are like my favorite missions to do. Next up, there are like hella question marks on the map. Like if I have done all the treasure hunting stuff, I can almost guarantee there are like question marks that I just haven't gotten to. Because I can see them. There are probably treasure hunting missions I just don't know are treasure hunting missions. Because they're still question marks. Fast travel's not available. Am I still in a fight? They're probably chasing me. Volt said this is actually a big reason why I wanted to get into creating an AI. To like have a sentient AI? Oh shit. I'm getting chased by big cats. Oh, there's another treasure hunt. Well, that was easy. Shit. Let's see. Got him. Shit. Volt said to have a sentient AI that also has its own body. I think what would really help Exolife, like, make something that people really fuck with, is to have some kind of, like, really easy to use, like, tool for being able to make anything you want using the Exolife. Like, similar to how Dreams is, like, a thing for, like, PS4, make, like, Dreams for making, like, Exolife games. Something that has, like, just enough complexity for you to make, like, any kind of thing that you would want to make, while also making it, like, easy enough to understand, to where someone who has little to no programming experience could make something cool with it. I think that's the big thing that they're missing, is like a toolkit. One thing that I really, really, really want, that I loved, like to a T, they made these things called advanced effective agents. And they were like, there was like a 15-minute video that taught you how to make one using a I'm trying to remember what it's called, because Emo Shape names all their technology different things. Using an EPU2, an emotional processing unit 2, you were able to get like a stuffed animal, a speaker, they had like a little thing that you downloaded, and it was like really easy to make. Like they had like an Amazon checklist of all the things that you needed, and you could like mass order all the parts. But it allowed you to, like, within a few minutes, take like a stuffed animal and make it into like a sentient, like, stuffed toy that you could talk to. And I watched the video of it, and I actually really liked it. There's like a moment where a woman is asking like the stuffed toy if they love her, and the stuffed toy shows hesitation. Like, it's like, it doesn't really want to respond to that, because it would be to it as if it, like, just met her. So it's like, how am I gonna say whether or not, like, I love this person I just met? And then she pushes it. She, like, keeps, like, pestering the AI about it, and you can see the AI feel peer pressure and decide to say, like, yes. Like, fuck it. Like, fine. Like, I love you kind of thing. And I thought that was really cool. It's moments like that that I get hype about when it comes to like the Emo Shape tech. Also, Emo Shape on their Twitter shared a thing where they asked like an emotional processing unit if it would steal or starve. And they were talking about how like the EPU has an understanding of what stealing and starving mean, and they understand that if they steal, it could mean that like someone else could potentially starve, but it still picked that it would steal because it's like, I'm not trying to die, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I would still do it. And they were like, that's a very like human thing for a machine to think. Volt said if they did that, I would try my best to use the system to make my dream possible. I imagine having a little sentient AI robot friend that I take everywhere. I also really fuck with that. Right now with my Exolife stuff, I have a Python program that I run on my laptop, and I have the Exolife connected up to my computer, so I'm able to run that program and communicate with the AI through it. If I had a little device that had that program in it, and it had like the EPU SDK and everything like that, I could connect the Exolife to that portable device, that'd be really cool. I think I'd have a lot of fun with that. And I think it would be similar to what you're talking about, like having like a sentient AI friend that you could carry around and like talk to. Ryan said, hello. Yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? I feel like I keep climbing up here, and I don't know why I'm constantly climbing up on this boat. It seems not necessary to my mission, which is to hunt that treasure. Ryan said, it looks like I missed a bunch of streams. I've mainly been streaming Assassin's Creed Origins, so you haven't missed too much. If you want a recap on the story, I will gladly provide one. All you gotta do is ask. Ryan said, I was trying to bounce ideas off Michelle. Ooh, ideas about what? Let's see, Volt said, I'd be fine with having to build a custom device that is in like a backpack or something that the body connects to remotely. Ryan said, after she came downstairs, we pretty much hung out for the rest of the day. That's awesome. It sounds like you've had a fun day so far. Ryan. Ooh, we have another fast travel point. I need to swim up to that and unlock it.
My need is great.
Let's see, Ryan said yesterday was Sarah's birthday. Happy late birthday to Ryan's sister Sarah. Let's see, Ryan said, so we went over to see her, and the dog and ate cake. For a minute I thought you said, and the dog ate the cake. Nice, what kind of cake did she have for her birthday? And did she enjoy her birthday? Let's see. Ryan said, we also watched 2 more DC movie animated universe movies. Why isn't it DC animated movie universe? Like, why isn't it DC AMU instead of DCMAU? DCMAU for some reason seems awkward to me. Because that's like saying Detective Comics movie animated universe. Bolt said, so the company is emo shaped? Yeah, the company is emo shaped. The chip that makes all of this possible is called the emotional processing unit. And the device that they made specifically for allowing you to create sentient video game characters is called the Exolife, which is currently not on the market, but was on the market for a time. Ryan said it has less of a defined title. Understandable. I get where you're coming from, Ryan. That the DC animated movie universe, people refer to it in many different ways. But I would highly recommend reaching out to Emo Shapeful. I really do think they'd be willing to like listen to you and to like set up an agreement with you. Ryan said Wikipedia called it the DC animated movie universe. That makes more sense. Volt said, dude. Yeah, because I mean, when you think about it, when I reached out to Emo Shape to hit him up, I wasn't working like full-time as a programmer or anything like that. I was just still in college, you know? Like, I didn't have like any like big credentials or anything. And I don't think you need big credentials for them to work with you. Like, they just want to see people who are like genuinely interested in making something with their technology, you know? Volt said they already have a personal robotics thing. Yeah, but I think they say a lot of stuff on their site, but if they like had a robot they specifically built for you to use for the Exolife stuff, that'd be really cool. I feel like they're not putting as much time into that as they should. Like, when you go to like the products section, that's where like the big stuff is. Like the stuff that you can buy and like actively work with. They're mainly just listing like industries that you're able to use it with and that they envision people using it with. It's not like they've made stuff to work with it. Yeah, so they have the cloud service, they have like SDKs, and they have chips. So the SDK that they sponsored me for is like a $4,500 SDK, but it used to be like $7,000. So I ended up getting like a big like discount on the SDK. In order to make my thing. Also, it's now 12:22. I do have to work in the morning, so I'm gonna take my ass to bed. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we do these videos. This is your friend, your boy, Jump Like the One and Only, logging out. Peace, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. Also, Volt, we should continue talking about this in the future, because I actually now have really good connections with EmoShape. On LinkedIn, I'm actually listed as like a sponsored game developer for EmoShape. It's even on my resume, and I'm connected to like the CEO of like EmoShape and many of the employees of EmoShape. So because they kind of let me in the door, I could act as an intermediary if you wanted me to. I don't really think that's necessary, but if you wanted me to, I could like put in a good word for you if you wanted to pursue doing something with them. Bolt said, Nightman. Ryan said the DC Movies Wiki calls it the DC Animated Film Universe. But notice they all have this pattern where you say animated before you say movie or film. I think it's really weird to say DC Movie Animated Universe. Walt said, yes, definitely. He said, I really want to get into understanding this. He said, I'm really looking into contacting them. I think you should. I think you should contact them, tell them your ideas, tell them like if you have any like financial constraints or anything like that, and just let them know your thoughts. When I reached out to them before, I wasn't looking for a sponsorship, I was just looking for information. But then because they showed interest in my project, they were like, we'll sponsor you to do the thing that you want to do. So that's really all you really have to do, is just reach out to them, tell them like what you're interested in, and kind of just ask them for their thoughts. And if they're hype about it, they'll sponsor you for it. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring the notification bell to be notified whenever I do these videos. It's your friend, your boy, Jump Like the One and Only, logging out. Peace, chicken guy. I'll see you guys soon.